What's up everybody, Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video, and in this video we gotta cover a lot of crazy things. We got a new small cinematic that is showing off what might just be the next map coming early, and of course we gotta talk about the huge amount of rank changes, so make sure you watch to the end so you don't miss out on a single bit of all this information. But the Game Leap website right now is your one-stop shop to climb the ladder with ease, because we have advanced VOD reviews and tips and tricks, and right now it's 50% off your annual subscription. So do yourself a favor and go check it out in the links down below for this limited time offer, and I can't wait to see you there. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, right off the bat, let's talk about the first big story, which is none other than this Valorant snow cinematic. Now, we're gonna play a little bit of the snow cinematic up on the screen, but all it is ice that spreads the screen and then something that appears to be a foreign language, and that language is actually Russian, and it says 5 on it. Now, there is a lot of speculation about what this could be. A lot of people might be thinking characters or things like that, because as you know, the start of Act 3 is what they said is going to be a new character, right? But 5 is an interesting number because we have only 4 maps, and 5 would be the 5th map, of course. Now, that's why a lot of people are thinking that this is actually a snow map, which would actually be insane, because we just have maps that pretty much are the same weather more or less. We got like desert and we got sunny, and that's pretty much it. A snow map would be really, really interesting, and I'm wondering how far they're gonna push the visual effects on a map like this. But I think that we all, pretty much every single one of us, thinks that the thing that Valorant needs more than anything right now is maps, not agents. I think that most of us are happy with the amount of agents. I mean, we love more agents, of course, but with only 4 maps, it's kind of annoying just playing the same maps over and over and over again. And I think all of us would absolutely love a map, especially in an entirely different setting. Now, that being said though, Riot has specifically stated that they don't plan on releasing maps until episodes, not acts. And the way that they talked in the cinematic, or the tagline, suggested that maybe this is going to be something that's going to come early. So it's either one of two things. It could either be one, not a map, and we're completely wrong, which I don't really understand what the 5 is, nor do I understand why it's Russian or the snow at all, really. Or it is a map and it's gonna be coming early in Act 3, which is fantastic. I really, really hope it is. And speaking of our next story, let's move on. Transitioning is, we gotta talk about the end of Act 2, which is ending October 13th. Now that means that Act 3 is gonna start right afterwards, and you gotta make sure that you finish out your battle passes and get that act rank up so that you can get everything you want to before it's too late. But I wanna know your opinion about the snow cinematic. Do you think it's a map, and why? And also, I wanna know, did you reach your goals for Act 2? If you didn't, there's still time, and what I would suggest you do is make actual goals for every single act, so that you know exactly what you want to hit, and then you can start making steps to hit that, of course. Now, moving on to the next thing that we got to talk about. There was a really big video drop by the Riot devs talking about all the ranked changes, and I'm not gonna just bore you with all the intricacies, but I'm gonna just give you the raw things that they are actually planning on doing, either immediately or over the course of a year's time. Now, they are gonna be adding a top 500 leaderboard by region, so we're actually gonna be able to see the top players in every region and their rank, which is gonna be interesting. I'm really, really excited about this, because I wanna be able to see who has the highest rank on a leaderboard. And this also makes me wonder if the highest ranks, the Radiant ranks, are gonna start having a number from like 1 to top 500 or anything like that, anything in between. It would be really cool to see like the ranks, and really awesome to see the top pros fighting for those coveted ranks. This is gonna make them smurf a lot less, and you're not gonna see someone like Wardell have like 6 accounts in Radiant. Instead, he's gonna be trying to fight for those top 5 spots, and it's gonna be a lot cooler when you see like rank 1 10s up against rank 2 Wardell or something like that. That is gonna be way more exciting to watch than just random Radiants, or more than likely Smurfs just playing against each other. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Now, the next big change to the actual rank system that they're going to be rolling out is you're gonna actually be able to choose your server, whether it's West, Central, East, whatever the case may be. If you're in NA or if you're in EU, you're gonna be able to choose between whatever servers that they have. And of course, they're constantly making more servers. Now, they can't have every single server that they want, because coronavirus, of course, stopped a lot of their rollouts of servers. But as more and more of those those come up, I'm guessing that this will have more and more options. Now, they don't guarantee that you're gonna get your server, but they will try, and I do like this a lot. It's awesome to have a consistent ping, especially when you're playing solo. You want that consistent ping. You want to be consistently playing in your region, and this is a really cool way to ensure competitive integrity, so you don't have like really good like 20 ping one game and then like 120 the next. That is a no-go. Now, something interesting though is for players that are Immortal and beyond, there is no longer going to be performance-based matchmaking rank ups. Now, Overwatch does something very similar with their diamond rank, which would be more like the equivalent of the plat rank and above, or around that, maybe a little bit less. But the point is, Overwatch does a very similar thing where you get this hidden MMR system where your performance gives you more rank up or more D rank depending on how you compare against the average and how you compare against people on your team. You see something similar in this game where if you pop off and get a 30 bomb, all of a sudden you're ranking up more than if you just win the game regularly. Now, for Immortal Plus players, this is going to be no longer the case. This is going to be only based on your wins and losses and how much you win by. So if you win by like 13-2, you're going to get a lot. And if you win barely, you're going to get a little bit. But you're not going to get a lot based on your frags. And I think this is a really fair formula, especially for higher ranked players, because if you're like a Cypher or a Sentinel, period, you might be just consistently playing passive, not racking up the kills, and you're dying when your team loses team fights and lose their point, and you have to play for retake. So you're not popping off and getting a whole bunch of kills, but that doesn't mean you're not contributing to the win. That doesn't mean you're not doing everything you can to get the win. And maybe in lower ranks, your mechanical skill matters so much. If you're just popping off on Cyber, it doesn't matter. You can click heads. But at the higher ranks, it really means that you're going to be playing your role. So I get this, but I want to know your opinion about this. Do you think that this should be for more ranks? Would you like to see this for Diamond and above, Platinum above? Where do you want to see the cutoff? And do you think Immortal is a fine cutoff? I know that a performance-based system really helps you rank up past ranks that you don't belong in, and it's especially good for flushing out Smurfs incredibly quickly. But what is the cutoff in your opinion? Definitely let me know your opinion about all of this in the comments down below. Now, another thing about Immortal Plus that they're going to implement is there's going to be no more stacking Plast Duo in Immortal Plus games. So basically, you can only duo or solo, and that's it. No 3, 4, 5 stacks, no 5-stack Radiant players, none of that. And this makes a lot of sense because we talked about this in the past, how when players stacked, right? When you are 5-stacking, you're a 5-stack of plats, you're gonna go up against either a 5-stack of plats just like yourself, or you're gonna go up against like plat 2s, solo plat 2s and plat 3s, or maybe even a couple of diamonds thrown in there. The reason is they give a certain amount of rank to the solos to make up for the synergy of the 5-stack. But when they try to pull higher than a 5-stack of Radiance, they only can pull other Radiance, right? They can't pull any higher. So this basically just gets rid of that completely. So we're not going to see giant stacks of Immortal Plus players, but I really do like this for competitive integrity, and I know that tons and tons of Radiant players are going to absolutely love this change. Both of these changes, they're going to absolutely love. And of course, with the leaderboard added to this, it's going to be really exciting. Stirring up competitive play for a lot of Immortal Plus players is going to be really cool for us to watch and look at just on stream and things like that. And of course, it's going to make it so they smurf less, which is good for every single person in the ladder. Now, a rank change that's going to affect everybody is now you can no longer stack together more than 3 ranks apart. Now, that means that a Diamond 3 can only stack as low as a Plat 3 and no lower. Now, this is going to create longer queues, but for match integrity, this is what they wanted to go through with. Now, I'm a little split on this. I get the reasoning for this, and it really makes some sense because you don't want like a, I don't know, Plat 3 player playing with maybe a Gold 1 player or even lower than that. That might be a little bit unfair, but the thing is, if you make it so the ranks are too far apart, you know what's gonna happen? Players are just gonna smurf. If a diamond player has a friend that's in silver and he can't play with them, what is he gonna do? He's gonna smurf. But either way, the competitive integrity is ruined. So I really don't know how to fix this system, and maybe that this is just the best system. But if you have a better alternative, I really wanna know your opinion in the comments down below, of course. Now, the last story that we gotta cover in this video is that as soon as Indicey got officially signed to 100 Thieves. Now, we talked about this in the past, how it seemed like they were going to get signed, but they really did officially get signed to 100 Thieves, which, if you don't remember, has Hiko, Nitro, and Steel, all CSGO veterans, and of course, Hiko is well known in the Valorant community, and as soon as Indices were from Immortals, so 100 Thieves just straight up yoinked these guys. They were successful guys on a pre-existing roster that was doing pretty well, and 100 Thieves just yoinked them straight from the roster, two of the best players on the roster in my personal opinion, and just took them straight for themselves, which is crazy. That had to cost a giant amount of cash, and that's really interesting that Immortals would allow this to happen. But I'm guessing that because Immortals was not quite top tier, they didn't have a premium roster that was consistently winning tournaments. They had a roster that was basically tier 2, barely under the surface of the top tier of teams. So now they can take their fat check that they got from 100 Thieves, and maybe they can go find some other talent, some new talent, and try to rebuild a roster in a way that gives them a really solid chance of competing with the top team. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go from here, but more importantly, I want to talk about 100 Thieves and just how cracked this roster seems on paper. I mean, this is a super team with Hiko, Nitro, and Steel all being veteran IGLs or in-game leaders for CS, all with incredibly good mechanical skills and calling and minds for the game. And then to round it out, they got two of the best cracked out of their mind aimer zoomers that they could possibly find in the world. I mean, these are like two of the best that they could possibly pick from, and the roster just seems like it's going to be amazing in my opinion. Now, that being said, going back to the money that it costed to put this team together, it has been confirmed by the esports reporter that the salaries on some Valorant teams are between 20 and 30k a month, which is absolutely crazy, and I'm almost positive that 100 Thieves is the roster that this is so. All of that money combined with the amount of money it took them to yoink Immortals, I mean, you're looking at maybe $1 million roster. Seriously, this might be $1 million roster, but definitely let me know what you think about this team in the comments down below. Let me know if you think they're going to be a top team right off the bat, or are they going to struggle like a lot of the other teams that just formed struggled, like FaZe. Definitely let me know, and I can't wait to see the October tournament that's coming out that is hosted by Riot. Definitely look out until then. But the Game Leap website is your one-stop shop. If you want to climb this competitive act or the next, then we have all the tools you need at the Game Leap website with in-depth Radiant tier VOD reviews, advanced tips and tricks, and much more. Make sure you use this limited time 50% off annual subscription offer in the links down below. You can't miss out on this amazing opportunity to make yourself broken and climb the ladder. But thanks so much for coming by. That's all I got for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and of course, until next time.